Hello dear students, welcome back to our online class. Today we'll start with the play The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare, Act 3, Scene 3. In this scene we can see that Alonso and his company tired out with searching for Ferdinand, and they hear a very mysterious sounds in the forest, in the island. Okay, so they hear a solemn music and see that several strange shapes are appearing in front of them, and they see a lot of these things which they have not yet experienced on this island. Okay, so after the hatching of the plan of Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo, we have seen that Caliban motivated them to give their help to kill Prospero, and also we have seen that the very funny liquor episode between all the three. Okay, so this scene comes after that, and this scene is also like a continuation of the Act 2 Scene 1, where we can see that they were all in search of Gonzalo was sleeping, Alonso was sleeping, and again Sebastian and Antonio planned to kill Gonzalo, but due to the aerial, their plan also failed out. Okay, so now after that they started their journey. They continued their journey walking through the island in search of Ferdinand, and this is the scene where we see it's a continuation of that particular scene here. And on their journey they see the different this here, because you know we know that all these things are being manipulated by Prospero and Ariel through the Prospero's magic. Okay, so many different types of sounds and shapes are seen, which is totally unbelievable to their eyes, and all these are like a part of Prospero's magic tricks. And Ariel also takes a different shape here, the shape of a harpy. Harpy is a bird. Okay, and he appears in front of the three men. So we have an episode here called the Three Men of Sin, especially referring to Antonio, Sebastian and Alonso, who actually planned to kill Prospero and his 3-year-old daughter Miranda 15 years back. Okay, now this secret was actually not known to anyone except these three people. Okay, yeah, even Gonzalo had a doubt, but he doesn't know much about this. So this was the secret of these three people, and after such a long time they came to know that someone is revealing this secret. Okay, that too a different, it's like a voice from the heaven, and they don't understand actually who is the speaker. And finally Ariel appears in the shape of a big huge bird called a harpy. Okay, we have a description in the play. So and this secret is revealed. Now Antonio, Alonso and Sebastian become so nervous when they come to know that how this secret is known and revealed here on this island. Okay, and Harpy's speech is also a relevant part in this scene, where actually Ariel makes them to feel that guilt of what they have done to Prospero. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to see all, and they will be under the Prospero's magic spell. So here Scene 3 begins. Another part of the island. Enters Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco and others. They were all together. So Gonzalo says, "By Larkin, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here is a mace rod indeed through forth rides and meanders. By your patient, I must rest me." So he says that by Larkin means what? By our little lady. Okay, means in the name of Mother Mary. In the name of Mother Mary, I am telling you, sir, I cannot go ahead, means I cannot walk anymore. My old bones are aching, because Gonzalo is an old man, and after a long walk they have not even taken rest in between, so he's becoming so tired. So he says that my old bones are actually aching. And here is a mace rod. Mace rod means it's like a place where a man loses his way after walking. You feel so tired, fatigue and all, you feel like you have to rest and you cannot even put one step ahead. Okay, so he says that, and through 4 forthrights and meanders. Forthright means the straight paths, meanders, wandering paths. Now, it's not necessary on the island that it should be the paths or the road should be very straight that you will be walking. There will be, it might be hilly areas, or it might be, steep areas. It might be marshy land, okay, or it might be curved paths, okay, not necessary that it should be smooth and straight, okay. So here says, and this island is such an island that there is no inhabitant on this island. So by your patience, I must rest me. So he says that I think we have to rest. Please show some patience. Now Alonso is the king. Unless the king gives the order, they can't do anything. So that's why Gonzalo requests the king that I have to rest, because otherwise I couldn't step even one step ahead. So Alonso says, "Oh Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest." So Alonso understood Gonzalo's trouble and the pain, and he says that, "Oh Lord, I cannot blame you." Okay, blame thee, I cannot blame you, who am myself attached with weariness, because I myself feel so tired, so fatigued, and how can I blame you? Okay, so what you are thinking that you are saying is, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that, because I myself am tired, and I can understand that how much you might be also tired. To the dulling of my spirits. Now, what is the dulling of my spirits? Still now, as he was continuing his journey, walking through the island, he had one motivation, one goal in front of that is searching Ferdinand. Okay, so after such a long walk also, he did not got Ferdinand, or he did not get any sign of Ferdinand that he could believe by himself that Ferdinand is alive. In that case, his expectation is becoming lesser and lesser. He says that to the dulling of my spirits are getting dull. Okay, I'm losing my expectation that I could see my son back, or I would be able to see Ferdinand back. So in that sense, he sit down and rest. So he asked Gonzalo, you please sit down and take some rest. Let's have some rest. Even here, I will put off my hope. Now, after having such a long search, Alonso also comes to a conclusion that there is no expectation in keeping that to find Ferdinand, or he will get back his son Ferdinand. And here I am also, losing my hope. Okay, I'll be putting off means what? To extinguish. So I am also putting off my hope here that I will be ever able to see my son Ferdinand. So after a long search, still I didn't find him, or neither I got any sign to make myself believe that Ferdinand is alive. So he says, and keep it no longer for my flatterer. And he says that I don't want to keep it to be my own flatterer. Means telling me only, making myself a false conviction. Okay, no, he's sometimes it happens like when we are not ready to believe someone, we try to make ourselves understand, no, it's not like that. We have to we are overthinking, or we are overreacting. So that's like you are trying to convince yourself. So here Alonso says that I don't want to do that, making myself convinced, that still keeping that hope that I'll be able to see my son Ferdinand. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find. The sea mocks our frustrate search on the land. So he says that he is drowned. Everyone has seen Ferdinand drowning in the sea. Okay, and whom we thus stray to find. And how is it possible that you will be able to find a drowned man on the island? Okay, and look at the sea. The sea is actually mocking us. Mocking us means making fun of us, or mocks our frustration or frustrated search on the land. We are searching on the land in such a manner that Ferdinand is alive and he is on the land. But the fact is that we have everyone seen that Ferdinand has drowned in the sea. So the sea is here actually personified, okay, like a human being. So, and says that the sea is looking at and mocking us that we are searching a drowned person on the island. And how can you find out a drowned person on the island? There is no chance. So Antonio, aside to Sebastian, says, who is Antonio? Antonio is a brother of Prospero. Okay, so Antonio says to Sebastian. Now, who is Sebastian? Sebastian is the brother of Alonso. So Antonio says to Sebastian, I'm right glad that he is out of hope. Do not for one ripples forego the purpose that you resolve to effect. So he says to Sebastian in his ears, he says that I'm very glad that at least now King Alonso is not having any hope that his son is alive. Okay, and do not for one repulse means if one repulse, forgo the purpose. Intention, purpose means intention. So even though do not forgo, you have to read this line like this: do not forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect for one repulse. Okay, now what does that mean? Do not forget, forgo here means forget. Do not forget the intention, purpose, intention that you resolve, that you were planning to put into practice. Now what was that actually Antonio is telling to Sebastian, and about what thing that they have planned to put into practice? If we recap the previous scene, we understand that how Sebastian and Antonio plan to kill King Alonso, right? Okay, so now Antonio again tries to, brainwash Sebastian, telling this that still you have a chance. Okay, for one repulse means what? For one defeat it occurred, because the first plan they decided to kill Gonzalo and Alonso failed. It failed because Ariel listened to their plan and he sang it in the form of a hymn in Gonzalo's ears. Okay, and that's the reason that their first attempt failed. Okay, so that is why Antonio says that for one repulse, for one defeat, do not forget the intention that you resolve to effect, that you have planned to put into practice. Okay, that means he is giving a hint to Sebastian that still you have time, isn't it? Still you have a chance. So Sebastian says that, again they are actually talking aside to Antonio, means they are actually talking personally and very slowly in one's own ear, so that Alonso and Gonzalo or others should not listen. Okay, so Sebastian replies to Antonio's conversation in this manner: the next advantage we will take thoroughly. The next advantage means what? We will be waiting for the next right moment, and that moment we will not allow to go through our hands. Okay, that means actually what is that? Still they have the planning in their mind that the very next moment they get the chance, they will be killing Alonso and Gonzalo. Now why they have become more sure of this fact that they have to kill Alonso? The reason is that now Alonso also lost the hope of getting back his son Ferdinand. So there is, and almost he has also believed or tried to believe the fact that Ferdinand is no more. In that case, now there are no obstacles in front of them, right? So if they kill Alonso very clearly, and the route will be very clear, the path will be very clear for Sebastian to become the king of the Naples, or the next king of the Naples. Okay, so this is what actually they have planned. So now Sebastian says that the very next right moment we get, we will not waste it. We will take the advantage of that and we will put our plan into practice very soon. Now Antonio again talks in Sebastian's ears and says, let it be tonight. So he says that why to wait for good things, isn't it? Okay, so let us don't extend this. Let us do it tonight itself. For now they are oppressed with travel. Now he says, what is the reason? Let us do it tonight because now they are very, very oppressed. Oppressed in the sense they are very, very tired. They are physically tired, and mentally Alonso is much tired because he have that grief of losing his son. Okay, so they are oppressed, and after such a long journey and travel and everything had happened with them, they are physically also very tired. They are starving without the food. Okay, and they from long time they have reached the island, they didn't had anything. So obviously this is the right time, and they are already old people. They don't have that much energy that they will be ready to fight back with you. So this is what he says. They will not or nor cannot use such vigilance. Vigilance means very careful, watchfulness. So I don't think that they will be so careful, or I don't think that they will be so watchful to find out that if they have or someone is there to attack on them. As when they are fresh, means as when they are fresh, so they are totally physically and mentally disturbed. And I think that we should not extend for a next day. Tonight only we will do, or we will give action to our plan. Sebastian says to Antonio, I say tonight no more. Yeah, okay, okay, I say tonight no more. Okay, so they both agreed and set a mind for the very night that they wait for them, and the night time they will be giving action to their plan. Now during this time, in the background they will be hearing a very solemn and strange music. Okay, strange because they don't see anything, any creatures, but they hear some kind of strange music there. Alonso suddenly gets alert, and he says, "What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!" So he suddenly says that what kind of music or sound that is actually they are listening to, and my good friends, hark, are my good friends singing? Okay, so in that sense, marvelous sweet music. Gonzalo also listens to this and he feels like, wow, it's a very soothing music. When you are so tired and you listen to a very soothing type of music, you feel very much refreshed and relaxed, isn't it? So Gonzalo also suddenly said, wow, it's very extremely sweet music. Now during this time, enter Prospero above, invisible. Okay, enter several strange shapes. Why Prospero invisible? Because this is not the right time for Prospero to come in front of all these people. Okay, and still his plan or his manipulation is left to work out, and that is why he remains invisible, performing his magical tricks. But he sends Ariel in front. Okay, so enter several strange, and during this time there were several other spirits assume different shapes and they also appear, but Prospero remains invisible. Bringing in a banquet, they dance about it with gentle actions of salutation, and inviting the king and the others to eat, they depart. Okay, so this is what you are going to send. This particular area, we call it as a portion, we call it as a banquet scene. Okay, so now enters different types of spirits disguised in different types of shapes, and they are all carrying, it's like a banquet. Now what do you mean by banquet? Banquet means what? For wedding you go, it is, or in a hotels and restaurants you can see the banquet hall is written, isn't it? What does it mean? It's a place to dine or to have a relish the food there. Okay, and banquet means having multiple types of dishes or cuisines there. So now these shapes, in our Indian context, if you remember, if you watch any of the movies or old king's time, you can see that all the servants used to carry big plates, and different types of dishes will be there in each plate, and it is all carried in their both hands, or okay, and they will be standing in line. Okay, so here you can imagine something like that. You can see that all these strange spirits of Prospero are visible except Prospero. Okay, they are all visible, they all are standing in line and they are carrying food in their hand. Okay, and they are dancing and swaying and they are moving ahead in front of these people. Who are the people? Gonzalo, Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, then Adrian, then all these people. Okay, those who are sitting there. So it was like a feast to their eyes, isn't it? Now when you are so hungry and you get such a tasty and delicious food you see in front of you, obviously everyone's mouth waters first time. Second thing is you get more craving to have that food. Okay, that you feel like go and grab it because you are so hungry, and the happiness it creates is something different. Okay, so this is what is the same feeling that all these people are having when they saw this banquet in front of them. Okay, and they can see that these shapes are not only carrying the food, but they are also dancing and swaying and moving, and the very background sweet music is being played. So it's like, for them obviously a treat to their eyes. Okay, so they dance about it with gentle actions of salutation. So salutation means what? Greeting someone, and inviting the king and others to eat. And they actually, what these shapes are doing, they are not only dancing, they are like, showing the plate like this, asking them to come and have it. Okay, so some kind of actions like that. Alonso, give us kind keepers, heaven, what were these? Okay, Alonso gets so much surprised and he thinks that all these shapes which are appeared in front of him are actually the angels. Isn't the God might have seen us, we are starving, and he has sent his angels with this delicious, relishing food with them. And he says that give us. So, and he said, give us kind keepers, good angels from the heaven. What were these? And he said, just trying to find out what are these things that are brought for them to eat. Sebastian now says that it's a living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there. So he says that it is a living drollery. Now what do you mean by drollery here? Drollery means here it is used to mean a puppet show. Okay, you know that puppet shows you might have seen, they are actually controlled by others, isn't it? And in which direction you will make them move, or how you will be controlling those threads connected to them, they will be enacting in that manner. So he says that this is actually a living drollery, a live puppets. Okay, now I will believe that there are unicorns, and I'm sure that already they have an impression this island is a strange island, isn't it? So now they are forced to believe that this island is really a strange one. So he says that now I will believe that there are unicorns. Now I'll believe that there are unicorn. You know what is unicorn? Unicorn is a noun. It doesn't exist, but it is believed that it exists. Okay, so it's a non-existent animal believed to have, it's like a horse body, you might have seen the pictures, okay, and having a single and straight horn at the front. Okay, so that is what you call it as a unicorn on its head. So he says that give us, that's a living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, one phoenix throne, and one phoenix as this are reigning there. Again this is that it is a nest of the phoenix high on the tree. Okay, and there is a one phoenix there. Now what is phoenix? Phoenix is also a concept or an ideology that also doesn't exist. Okay, and it is referred to a bird. Phoenix means it's a bird, and according to the myth, it is said that there is only one bird of this kind, that is phoenix kind. At any one time it lives for 500 or 600 years in the Arabian desert. Okay, so there is only one bird named as phoenix of its type, and it lives at minimum 500 or 600 years in the Arabian desert. And after that what happens? Then it burns itself to death. Okay, and from after death, what happens to the body? It gets completely turned into ashes. Okay, so from ashes arises another bird of the same kind. Okay, and the same process is repeated after every 600 years. Again it survives 600 years, again it burns, and again from its ashes new phoenix bird will come. That means it has a, always the motivational speakers use the example of the phoenix, because it gets destroyed, but it doesn't give up there. It arises from the ashes. Okay, so many of the motivational speakers use this to make the understand when people are worried about the failures. Okay, when people are worried about failures, they think that this is the end, now nothing can be done, everything is over. Okay, but they look and learn from the phoenix bird. From the ashes it rise again and flies so high. Okay, so that is what it said. So here the meaning is not any motivational thing. Here the meaning is that when I see non-existent things is only a myth. Okay, so here what Sebastian actually want to say is that it looked like the unicorns in the Arabian deserts, or it looked like the phoenix bird. Okay, during this hour. Okay, during this hour means at the end of the day they are seeing all these scenes, and all these shapes actually he feel like unicorn and phoenix that are actually not existing. Okay, so this is what Sebastian says. So Antonio also joined Sebastian. I will believe both. I think you are right, Sebastian. I believe with both. It's like phoenix bird and it's like unicorns. And what does else want credit? Come to me and I will be sworn it's true. Travelers never did lie. The fools at home condemn them. Okay, so he says that what else we want to credit, because we are seeing everything in front of our eyes, and mostly what you see in front of eyes is you believe. Okay, so it is in our credibility And when you see, how can you remain seeing the things in front of your eyes and not believing on that? So come to me, he says, and I will promise, I'll be sworning that this is true. And so his purpose of saying this is that he says that travelers never did lie. Those people who keep on traveling, who keep on wandering different places, they come to know about many such stories. And when they come to their native place or to their home and they narrate these stories, the listeners feel that they are simply boasting. There is nothing truth in that. But for a person who has seen in front of the eyes, has no other option but just to believe it. And what he comes and says to a third person, for a third person, it's not necessary he has to believe because he didn't saw it. Okay, so this is the reason. So he says that travelers never do lie because they speak what they see. Okay, and they speak on that ground. Thou fools at home. And those people who are the fools at home, they don't believe on what they say. Okay, this is what Antonio says. I hope that you understood. We have done till line 30 of page number 88. Watch the video along with your textbook and try to understand the concept. Keep reading. Have a good time.